From the studios of WWAY, it's the C.B. McGrath Show. The C.B. McGrath Show is brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers, Papa John's, AARP, Reed's Jewelers, Molly Maid, and Harris Teeter. And now, here's your host, Mike Vaccaro.
Well, good morning. Welcome our final show of the season here. Mike Vaccaro alongside the coach C.B. McGrath, talking Seahawk basketball once again. We'll recap the final week of the regular season for UNCW. Also have some highlights of a season that was for the Seahawks. A lot of exciting games, especially inside Trask Coliseum this year. Our player profile is Jordon Talley, senior point guard for the Seahawks, having an outstanding senior campaign. We'll look ahead to the conference tournament coming up now for UNCW in Charleston coming up this weekend. For UNCW, though, Coach, you wrap up the regular season on the road. It's William and Mary, it's Drexel. Now, truth be told, we're recording this before the Seahawks go there, but second meeting with both these teams. Let's start with William and Mary here, a very good three-point shooting team. They lead the country in three-point percentage. They have the top three-point shooter in Connor Birchfield. So defensively, is that the biggest key in this game?
Yeah, absolutely it is. And they're a great three-point shooting team, and they got multiple guys that can make them. They got 4 guys shooting over 40% from three. 4 guys shooting better than Jordon Talley, who's our leading three-point shooter. So, you know, and those guys are all on the outside around Nathan Knight, who's having a heck of a year inside. And so you got to pick your poison. You got to decide, are you going to double team Nathan Knight, let him go one-on-one, or are you going to, you know, let those shooters do what they need to do? So it's a tough matchup, and it's not like they just stand around and wait for the ball. They're cutting, they're moving, they're pushing up against us. Last time we played against William Mary, they beat us in transition more than the half court. They got a bunch of their open looks in transition, so we've been working on that, you know, getting back in transition to just be able to contest the shots. And I've said it before, when you play three-point shooting teams, they're going to shoot threes. We just got to cut down their percentages like Devontae Kaycock. Everybody goes out knowing he's going to rebound the ball. You just want to make sure he only gets 8 instead of 23. So we want to cut down their percentage and not let them shoot 40%. Hopefully they shoot 31, 32%. It's a goal. It's going to be tough to do, though.
Well, you look at William and Mary in the last meeting, UNCW had 12 threes, outshot them as the Tribe had 10 that game in Trask Coliseum. And, Coach, it came down to the final play. You guys lose by 3 at home, but Talley had a pretty good look to try to tie it, send it into overtime. So, again, anything that you see looking at that game that you think could be the bigger difference in addition to the threes here?
Yeah, you know, we rebound the ball really well, and so their game plan is going to be to not let us rebound as well. We need to make some more shots. It did come down to a last-second 3, but there was possessions in the last minute and a half of the game where if the ball bounces our way, we missed a couple free throws. You know, we had a turnover, those kind of things. If it bounces our way, it might not come down to a last-second 3. It might just mean we only need 1 point. You know, maybe we can get fouled or something like that. So it did come down in the last possession. We didn't maximize that opportunity, and we hope to up in Williamsburg.
Again, that game Thursday in Williamsburg, Virginia. The Saturday game was in Philadelphia, UNCW's second meeting with Drexel. But, Coach, you beat them handily at home, and that was, what, the second game of the conference slate. They didn't have Tremaine Isabel, a guy who during the season has scored 40 points. So your concerns going up against Drexel on the road, tough place to play as well in the DAC.
Yeah, and they're playing a lot better than they were back when we played them the first time. They had some guys that were hurt, like you said. They weren't meshing well together. Now they seem to be in every single contest, sort of like us. You know, we know we're going to be in every game. You know, it's just making the plays at the end. From what I remember in this game, neither team played much defense. It was everybody driving straight to the basket. Everybody's making threes. It ended up being a high-scoring game. We know we need to do a lot better job defensively, and we are a lot better defensively than the last time we played them. But they are better too, and so it's going to come down to the things that are most important to us. It's, you know, limit our unforced turnovers, rebound the basketball, and shoot the shots that we can make.
So again, the final week of the regular season for UNCW ended up on the road Thursday at William and Mary, yesterday, Saturday, in Philadelphia against Drexel. Let's take a look at the results now of those 2 games. Well, amazing to think this is the final show of the season here, and the regular season is complete. But, Coach, it goes fast. It goes fast, and you look at some of the games, some of the highlights, and some great performances by your team here this season. So many close games as well, as we're going to have some highlights here. But how fast was it in your mind, your first season here on the sidelines of UNCW?
Yeah, obviously went really quick. You know, it wasn't as successful win-loss wise as everybody would want, as I would want, as our team would want, as the program would want, as the fans would want. But a lot of guys showed progress. You know, changing the system a little bit, tweaking it here and there, changing it defensively. A lot of guys that hadn't played a lot in the past accepted bigger roles. You know, we had our freshmen play quite a bit, which was good, you know, to get them ready for the next year. And we got to a slow start. You know, we went up for that jamboree at UNC, and that was a fun time. I got to play 3 different teams. We faced both of them again in the non-conference schedule. And, you know, if we could have won a couple more in the non-conference, I think it would have helped us going into conference with some confidence. You know, we were lacking the confidence just based on who we had played, and shell-shocked a little bit by some of the teams that were just really good. But we did make progress, like I said. I thought we got better as a team, especially defensively. The numbers don't necessarily show it. Offensively, we were pretty consistent all year. You know, obviously, I wanted to shoot it at a higher percentage, but we got the shots that we wanted, and we just need to start making a little bit more of them. But we played unselfish, need to limit our turnovers. But it was a great year, and it obviously went really fast. The 13 games in Trask, the fans were unbelievable. You know, I mean, everybody talked about it when I got the job. You're going to love Trask, and you love Trask. And I knew I would, but it was great. It's a great home court advantage. The fans come out and really support our whole team the entire year, and we thank them for that.
Yeah, you had some of your best performances inside Trask Coliseum, wins over Hofstra, win over Elon as well. And those that you didn't win usually came down to the final possession, so this became a battle-tested team by the end of it. And for you as well, first time as a head coach, to really be tested, but again, to be in these games and come down to the end. What does it say about your team and what they went through this year to kind of, again, be in all these games throughout the season?
Yeah, we stayed resilient. You know, it wasn't perfect, and like you said, it was stressful every game in Trask. I'll say that at the end, because it's always coming down to that last possession, that last minute, and knowing that we were going to have to execute the plays correctly, whether it's offensively or defensively, and get to the right spots. When you put yourself in that position every single game, I think our guys really gained confidence knowing that no matter how much we are down in a game, we could always come back. And that, you know, is not necessarily a good or bad thing sometimes, because at home, we would relax for a couple minutes and then get down from 2 points to 8 points right away, as opposed to just knowing, uh-oh, maybe we can't get down by that much. Well, we proved that we could be down 10 with 3 minutes to go and come back and tie the game, sent to overtime a few times. But, you know, they were a resilient bunch, and they just played hard every game. Obviously, the crowd at Trask got them involved every time, and our brand of basketball is pretty exciting, so we got the fans involved too. You know, we had some nice runs here and there, but it was, other than the Charleston game, you know, that game with about 4 minutes to go, it was going to be tough to win that unless we went on a real big run, and we just couldn't do it. They made too many shots in the end, but all in all, a really fun season at Trask, and I'm sure our fans would agree.
Yeah, a lot of good plays, a lot of good memories inside Trask Coliseum. Let's take a look now at some highlights from this past year. Well, throughout the year, we've been able to introduce you to the players with our player profile. Today, we saved maybe the best for last, or one of the best at least. Senior point guard Jordon Talley. And Coach, this is a guy that's kind of the heart and soul of this team. You've kind of wanted a leader coming in. He's your leader on the court. He's given it all here this season. It's amazing what he's been able to do.
Yeah, he has. And the first meeting I had with the team, he sort of stood up and said a few things and wanted to be the leader. He wanted it to be his team, and obviously being his senior year, you want somebody to step up into that role, and he did a nice job. You know, we had so many different pieces. We had a couple, you know, Matt Elmore ended up not playing all year. Jaquel Richmond was no longer with the team, so we had some pieces here and there, and everything was, you know, in flux. And so he did a nice job of sort of navigating the whole thing and realizing what people needed and those kind of things. But you know, what I remember most about Jordon in the end is just his competitiveness. You know, how he wants to win and how he wants to lead. And granted, sometimes he's in foul trouble, and he's gotten a few technicals because he is fiery. But when he's in foul trouble, he's one of our biggest fans on the bench. You know, he's cheering on his teammates. He wants them to do great. And you don't find a lot of guys. Sometimes you get in foul trouble, you're mad at the refs, you go sit down and feel sorry for yourself. Talley, for 1 second, never felt sorry for himself the entire year. And it didn't go the way he wanted to. It didn't go, like I said, that anybody wanted to. But he didn't feel sorry for himself for 1 second. And the one thing I'm most happy is he's an Eagles fan, and the Eagles finally got that Super Bowl ring, and I know that he was awfully excited about that. He even bought some Philadelphia Eagles gear in one of the airports we were in. So. And
a chance to go to Philadelphia this past weekend as well. Well, very decorated young man here. He'll be a champion. He'll also be in the top 10 in the scoring list at UNCW. Dustin Dorsey has more now, our AARP player profile on the senior point guard, Jordon Talley.
Since arriving 4 years ago, Jordon Talley has been part of a culture change at UNCW that's produced more than 70 wins, 2 CAA titles, and 2 appearances in the Big Dance. Something he's happy to be a part of and something he's had a major role in.
It's a good feeling. Yeah, like you said, when I got here, it was not a lot of winning, not a lot of fans. So it's great to turn that around and just keep going.
Of all the pulse-pounding battles and sweet feelings of celebrations throughout his 4 years, there are clear front-runners as to what are Talley's favorite memories from his career.
Definitely the CAA titles. I had to say the CAA titles. It was a great feeling winning with my teammates, but definitely walking on the NCAA court too, and them lights is just different. It's just a different feeling. Got to feel it again. I used to always fill out my bracket when I was a kid, all that stuff. Then now you in the bracket, so it's a great feeling.
If he wants to feel it again, it's going to take one final CAA run by the Seahawks to get themselves in the big tournament. In order to do that, he's been working on his play since the offseason to get his game to the next level.
My shot, definitely my shot. Try to perfect my craft with my shot, so just working on my form and shooting. I didn't look at anybody else's form. It's just my form. I just wanted to get the repetition and just perfect my form.
His constant work has paid off. The stats on Talley don't lie. He started in his freshman and senior seasons and came off the bench in his sophomore and junior campaigns. But his scoring totals lead him top 10 all-time at UNCW. Besides his scoring, it's Talley's work on the defensive end that he puts the most work in and makes him such a valuable member of this group.
It's just something I take pride in. I hate when my man score on me. I hate it. And when my man score on me, I feel like I let my team down. So it's just something I take pride in.
Something he also takes pride in is being a leader. He has taken the vocal leadership role on this team and works to not only keep his game at a high level, but his teammates as well.
It means a lot. Just take everybody, the young guys, by string, make them follow the suit, and just keep the tradition going, a winning tradition.
Part of the product on the court comes from the players, but the winning tradition has to come from the coaches too. Coach McGrath clearly has experience winning, and when he and the staff came in, the winning mindset continued.
It was pretty easy. This staff made it pretty easy because it was a great staff. Coach Keeson was a great staff, but we got a great staff coming in too. So,
along with the great staff, Talley has great teammates. The Talley-Kaycock connection has been a consistent threat to all opponents of UNCW. It's assumed it would take years of hard work to create such a connection so strong, but Talley says Kaycock makes it simple.
Great teammate, great guy to be around, and easy to get assists to. Just throw it to him, throw it up.
Kaycock and Talley make sweet music on the court when they get the crowds to roar. But little do most people know, that's not the only music Talley can make.
People confuse me with Trey Songz sometimes. I sing a little bit in my spare time.
Unfortunately, we can't get Talley to sing one of his songs, but we can get him to think about his last time. This season is the last time he'll play for UNCW, but he'll always appreciate it.
It means a lot. It happened quick, though. I remember last year, a couple years ago, I was a freshman. Now I'm a senior.
It's truly hard to believe just how fast it went, but it's not over yet. For his final run, he wants to go out the way he came in, by winning.
My expectation never changed. CAA title, make a run in the tournament. Same thing.
I'm Dustin Dorsey, and you're watching the CB McGrath Show. When the Seahawks needed a big play the most, they turned to their senior leader, Jordon Talley, in the final regular season game. With the time ticking down against Drexel, UNCW needed a score for the win. And here's that score, our play of the week.
You can go through, Taylor. Jordon Talley wastes no time getting the lead back for UNCW.
Time and time again, Talley is put in the position to win it for his team, and time again, he delivers. Number 4 nails the jumper on the right wing to seal the deal against Drexel 82-81 for our play of the week. How about our Molly-made glass cleaner of the week? Guess who? Devontae Calvin Kaycock. The best rebounder in the country averaged 16.5 boards a game this week, 6.5 on the offensive end and 10 on the defensive, including 21 against Drexel, his 4th career 21 rebound game. He also tallied his school record 22nd double-double of the season against the Dragons. And speaking of the Dragons, the Dragon Slayer Jordon Talley is our Carolina Ford's Player of the Week. The senior averaged 19.5 points per game, shooting 48% for the week, 8.5 assists a game, and with his 21 against Drexel, Talley moved into 9th all-time in UNCW scoring with 1,265 career points. We'll be right back after our last break to take a look ahead to the CAA Tournament for the Seahawks and see where they fall in the final standings of the regular season. Stay with us. Welcome back to the CB McGrath Show. There they are, our final CAA standings of the season. UNCW finishes the year 1 spot lower than they were picked in the preseason at 6th, but that plays a huge role in the conference tournament as they will receive a first game bye for finishing in 6th place. Charleston finishes off the year in the top spot, followed by Northeastern, and at number 3, it's Hofstra, the team UNCW will face in the tournament. William Mary and Towson are 4 and 5. Elon, Delaware, Drexel, and James Madison round out the list. The Phoenix and the Dukes play tomorrow night to close out their regular season. In our look ahead, sponsored by Papa John's, UNCW nets Hofstra in their opening round game next Sunday at 8:30 p.m. for the 3-6 matchup. It's also the matchup of 2 of the best big men in the nation, Kaycock and Goosties, round 3, the Big Uglies battle in the Low Country. The Seahawks and the Pride split their season series, with each team pulling off a 20-point victory. Should be a good one, and we can't wait to see it go down to the North Charleston Coliseum. I'm going to now hand things over to Mike and Coach to wrap up our show. Take it away, guys.
Well, once again, that'll do it. Our final show here of the season. Coach, you head to Charleston from here, and I think you go there with some confidence, knowing that you have either beaten or at least been in a game with every team down there. Should be a fun several days in Charleston for whoever comes away with the championship.
No doubt, and we're not the only team. Every team in the league has competed with or beaten everybody else in the league. So it's going to be a heck of a tournament. I'm excited to get down there, and we don't know who we're playing yet, but you know, the tournament time is always a fun time. That's what the kids spend all this time in the off season preparing for, and all the time during the season preparing for a chance to win the conference tournament championship. And we are playing better basketball. Hopefully we'll play our best basketball this weekend.
Well, it's been a memorable place down there in the North Charleston Coliseum for UNCW. We'll see if it happens once again for the Seahawks when they go down there to take on whoever it may be in that conference championship. Coach, appreciate your time all year long and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, for CB McGrath and our entire crew here all season long, we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next season for another season of the CB McGrath Show. Have a great day, everybody.
The CB McGrath Show is brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers, Papa John's, AARP, Reed's Jewelers, Molly Maid, and Harris Teeter.